Our man is finished. Kagame's Rwandan state of himself collapsing. Written by David Himbara. Copyright 2025, David Himbara. All advances and proceeds for my memoir are dedicated to supporting Gabriel Ndayishimiye. Gabriel reminds me of decades earlier. I arrived in Canada as a young, broken Rwandan refugee and transformed myself into an educator. Gaby, too, arrived in Canada after surviving the Rwandan military. Forced to flee with his family, he journeyed through Burundi, Tanzania, and Malawi. This memoir comes to you thanks to Gabriel's publishing house, Livin' Books. All rights reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced in any form or by any electronic or mechanical means, including information storage and retrieval systems, without written permission from the author, except for the use of brief quotations in a book review. Chapter 3. Rwanda is not a political party dictatorship. The Rwandan Patriotic Front died with Fred Rwigema, its founder, on October 2, 1990. The Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, died with its founder, Fred Rwigema, on October 2, 1990. Kagame took charge, eliminating RPF leaders one by one, victimizing them without mercy, including the following. 1. Pasteur Bizimungu, former Rwandan president, dumped, imprisoned. 2. Theogene Rudasingwa, former chief of staff, RPF Secretary General and ambassador to the U.S., dumped and fled, Rwanda. 3. Kayumba Nyamwasa, former military chief, dumped and fled and survived 3 assassination attempts. 4. Gerald Gahima, former Minister of Justice, dumped and fled Rwanda. 5. Edith Gasana, former CEO of the Development Bank of Rwanda, dumped and fled Rwanda. 6. Patrick Kayumba Mazimpaka, former leader, minister and deputy chairman of the African Union Commission, was dumped and passed on. 7th Protais Musoni, former RPF mobilizer and minister, dumped. 8. Seth Sendashonga, former interior minister, dumped and assassinated in exile. 9. Aloysia Inyumba, former RPF woman, leader, minister and senator, was dumped and passed on. 10th Tribert Rujuguro, funder, dumped and fled Rwanda. 11th Valens Kajeguhakwa, funder, dumped and fled Rwanda. 12th Asinapol Rwigara, funder, mysterious death. 13th Protais Musoni, former RPF mobilizer and minister, dumped. 14. Tharsis Karugarama, former justice minister, dumped. 15. Joseph Karemera, former military leader and minister, dumped. 16. Jacques Bihozagara, former minister and ambassador, dumped and died in exile. 17. Mary Bain, former commissioner of Rwanda Revenue Authority and RPF fundraiser, dumped and fled. 18. Patrick Karegeya, former intelligence chief, dumped and assassinated in exile. 19th. Rosemary Museminari, former foreign minister, dumped and left Rwanda. 20. Emmanuel Ndahiro, former intelligence chief, dumped into poverty. 21. The list goes on. The Rwandan Patriotic Front is Kagame. The over $1 billion business empire of the RPF, Crystal Ventures Ltd, CVL, is Kagame. He is the chairman, CEO, chief investment officer, human resources chief, the clerk, the telephone operator, the cleaner, the driver, and security guard. If you doubt me, show me a single published report since its founding as TriStar in 1995 up to now. Nothing. Zero. This is the only description of CVL available to the public, which is published on its website. We are an investment company established in 1995 in Rwanda, initially under the name TriStar Investments Limited, before rebranding to the current name Crystal Ventures Limited, CVL, in 2009. The company was founded to meet challenges of economic recovery and to utilize growth opportunities in a virgin environment. The founders were among the pioneers of Rwanda's private sector who took on the task of rehabilitating the gone-to-seed commercial trade. CVL reinvested its returns to create what is now one of the largest investment companies in the country. We have, since inception, spurred the growth of businesses whose choices of investments are determined by the opportunity to make a significant impact on the socio-economic landscape, accompanied by the opportunity to venture into unexplored sectors with high socio-economic returns in a developing economy. Our main investments are in engineering, fast-moving consumable goods, construction materials, and security service sectors. CVL underwent a transformation phase in the past years in various fields, i.e., corporate governance, operations, finance, human capital management, communications, and IT systems. The transformation ushered the company into an era that continues to be a stepping stone for the current and future growth and sustainability of the group. Let us take a closer look at the role and activities of CVL in the present-day Rwanda. The 2024 U.S. Department of State's Investment Climate Statement on Rwanda states that many foreign companies face various hurdles and constraints. The government gives preferential treatment to ruling party-owned, state-owned enterprises and companies owned by individuals with strong ties to the government. The World Bank's 2019 Systematic Country Diagnostic and the 2023 Rwanda Economic Update repeat the same thing as the U.S. Department of State's Investment Climate Statement on Rwanda. CVL and its subsidiaries are the elephants in the room. CVL is the government's partner in road and bridge construction, street light installation, granite and tile manufacturing, and real estate development and sales. It also operates an agro-processing venture with nationwide wholesale and retail operations. CVL owns a pair of Gulfstream jets, which cost $134 million in total, and which Kagame and his family charter for their overseas travels. In his capacity as the president of Rwanda, Kagame charters the Gulfstream jets from himself in his capacity as chairman of the ruling party and its businesses. This might explain why Kagame is an exceedingly frequent traveler. He makes money each time he travels overseas. Take a look at the Kagame travels in 2019 as an example. Kagame made 48 overseas trips in 2019 in his Gulfstream jet chartered by the Rwandan government. 1. Doha, Qatar, December 14, 2019. 2. Nairobi, Kenya, December 9, 2019. 3rd. Berlin, Germany, November 19, 2019. 4th. Johannesburg, South Africa, November 11, 2019. 5th. Doha, Qatar, October 29, 2019. 6th. Sochi, Russia, October 23, 2019. 7. Bangui, the Central African Republic, October 15, 2019. 8. Abidjan, Ivory Coast, October 14, 2019. 9. Marrakech, Morocco, October 12, 2019. 10th. Bonn, Germany, October 4, 2019. 11th. Seattle, USA, October 2, 2019. 12th. New York, USA, September 22 to 26, 2019. 13. Nairobi, Kenya, September 18, 2019. 14th. Brazzaville, Congo, September 10, 2019. 15th. Yokohama, Japan, August 28, 2019. 16th. Biarritz, France, August 25, 2019. 17th. Luanda, Angola, August 21, 2019. 18. Windhoek, Namibia, August 19, 2019. 19th. Lusaka, Zambia, August 11, 2019. 20. London, UK, July 23, 2019. 21st. Luanda, Angola, July 12, 2019. 22nd. Niamey, Niger, July 7, 2019. 23rd. Gaborone, Botswana, June 27, 2019. 24th. Antananarivo, Madagascar, June 26, 2019. 25th. Bruxelles, Belgium, June 17, 2019. 26th. Abuja, Nigeria, June 11, 2019. 27th. Libreville, Gabon, June 10, 2019. 28th. Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo, May 31st, 2019. 29th Pretoria, South Africa, May 25th, 2019. 30. Paris, France, May 17th, 2019. 31st. Los Angeles, USA, April 30th, 2019. 32nd. San Francisco, USA, April 28th, 2019. 33rd. Cairo, Egypt, April 23rd, 2019. 34th Saddleback, USA, April 14th, 2019. 35th. New York, USA, April 11th, 2019. 36th Dakar, Senegal, April 2nd, 2019. 37th. Luanda, Angola, March 30th, 2019. 38th. Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, March 7th, 2019. 39th. Cape Town, South Africa, March 5th, 2019. 40. Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, March 1st, 2019. 41st. Charlotte, USA, February 28th, 2019. 42nd. Munich, Germany, February 15th, 2019. 43rd. Abu Dhabi, February 13th, 2019. 44th. Dubai, February 12th, 2019. 45. Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, February 9th, 2019. 46th. Arusha, Tanzania, February 1st, 2019. 47th. Davos, Switzerland, January 24th, 2019. 48th. Addis Ababa, January 17th, 2019. Our survey of a round-trip charter of a Gulfstream G650 jet from Kigali International Airport to New York, JFK International Airport is $390,000. Hopefully, Crystal Ventures Ltd gives the Rwandan government a significant discount given that Kagame is a frequent user of their aircraft. In addition, Crystal Ventures Ltd owns Crystal Telecom, which was established in 2013 after acquiring a 20% stake in MTN Rwanda. It's essential to note, Crystal Telecom is not a traditional telephone company. Its primary function is to hold a 20% stake in MTN Rwanda. Crucially, much of the funding for CVL comes from Rwanda's Social Security Board, RSSB, the agency responsible for Rwanda's pension fund. Kagame installed either a relative or a crony to lead from which pension funds were drawn to finance CVL. Innocent Gakwaya, Kagame's brother-in-law, was RSSB's chairman until his demise and was replaced by Ephraim Turahirwa, the former head of Tristar, rebranded as Crystal Ventures Limited. Christopher John Wales from the UK replaced Turahirwa. General Kagame would not appoint RSSB's board chairman after Wales's departure. Much of the information about Kagame's vast business empire comes from investigative reports on three of his frontmen, namely Manasseh Nshuti, Agide Gatera, and Hatari Sekoko. Manasseh is Kagame's key operative. The president taps him as his eyes and ears throughout the government. The ruling party's business empire is Crystal Ventures Limited. Nshuti has held many significant positions, including Minister of Commerce and Industry, Minister of Finance, Minister of Public Service and Labour, and Minister for East Africa, and served as a senior presidential advisor. His most influential role is undoubtedly his executive chairmanship of Crystal Ventures Limited. DeWitt Potgieter and Raymond Joseph, South Africa-based investigative journalists, were the first to break down Kagame's wall of secrecy on February 14, 2010. Their investigation published details of a Rwandan company registered in South Africa under the name of Reply Investments 29Pi. The headline of the report was most telling. The cash-strapped Rwandan government has splurged millions of rands on two ultra-luxury passenger jets to fly its president and VIPs around the world, and tried to hide ownership of the jets behind a South African-based company. DeWitt Potgieter and Raymond Joseph's investigation established that the jets transported Kagame to Europe, the UK, the US, and other destinations. They pointed out that the former British Prime Minister Tony Blair used the aircraft. The pair of Bombardier Global Express BD-700 jets, with a new price tag of $50 million each, were acquired in 2003 and 2008, respectively. Ripley Investments had 3 directors, with 1 based in Rwanda and 2 based in South Africa as follows. 1. Manase Nshuti. 2. Hatari Sekoko. 3. Paul Nirubutama. Nshuti serves Kagame in all manner of roles, including the chairman of Crystal Ventures Ltd., Minister of Commerce, Finance, Public Service and Foreign Affairs, and Senior Advisor. Hatari Sekoko is a business front for Kagame. Paul Nirubutama is the Director General of the Rwanda Foreign Intelligence and Security. In his 2019 work titled African Development and the Marginalization of Domestic Capitalists, British scholar Pritish Bihuria highlights the connections between Kagame, Egide Gatera, and Hatari Sekoko. Bihuria categorizes Gatera and Sekoko's businesses as products of government policy and alliances with the Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, stemming from the privatization of state assets. He asserts, all these individuals are closely tied to the RPF. Hatari Sekoko was a former military officer, and Egide Gatera maintained a significant relationship with the Kagame family. Bihuria's work motivated me to actively pursue research utilizing primary sources, such as the Rwanda Development Board's privatization reports, the Rwanda Auditor General's annual reports to Parliament, and the U.S. State Department's annual survey on the investment climate. My findings strongly corroborate Bihuria's conclusions. Egide Gatera's businesses are predominantly privatized state-owned enterprises or involve partnerships with the government, often accompanied by the forced seizures of foreign multinational companies. Gatera's emergence as one of the wealthiest business people in Rwanda is firmly rooted in the forcible seizures of 2 multinationals, Chevron Corporation, a prominent American oil and gas company, and Bakri International Energy from Saudi Arabia. Critical factors drove Chevron's sudden exit from Rwanda. The Rwandan government's refusal to compensate the company for the infrastructure it constructed at Kigali International Airport was a significant blow. Additionally, the authorities pressured Chevron to refuel aircraft from nations under UN sanctions for terrorism. Chevron's personnel were relentlessly coerced at gunpoint to comply with these demands from sanctioned countries. Bakri International Energy Ltd., which succeeded Chevron in Rwanda, appointed Gatera its operations manager. However, Bakri International was forced out of Rwanda within just a year. Gatera had filed a lawsuit for the unfair treatment of local staff. The court ruled in Gatera's favor, leading to Bakri International's abrupt exit from Rwanda. Gatera took control of Bakri's business operations, launching his Société Pétrolière Ltd. With a significant gesture from Kagame. The president granted Gatera state-of-the-art fuel facilities at no cost. Gatera acquired several state-owned tea estates under the privatization program to build his Rwanda Mountain Tea, but did not pay for them, as revealed in the 2016 Auditor General Report. When Rwanda Mountain Tea acquired the Route Zero Tea estate, it failed to pay the government. The Rwanda Development Board, which oversees the privatization program, acknowledged its lack of knowledge regarding the Route Zero Tea estate. The $22 million fuel depot is a testament to the deep connection between Kagame and Gatera. Notably, Gatera did not finance the land for fuel depots in Kigali, Mombasa, and Dar es Salaam. The government fully funded Gatera's endeavors. The Kagame-Gatera connection ended abruptly in 2018 when the UK-based global energy giant BB Energy acquired Gatera's Société Pétrolière Ltd. Gatera's current situation is troublingly unclear. An online search reveals that his petroleum business is now linked to BB Energy's website, which boldly states, Société Pétrolière Rwanda, our downstream business in Rwanda. Unlike previous years, Gatera's name has notably vanished from Rwandan newspapers. Given the climate where President Kagame's associates frequently go missing, one can only hope that Egide Gatera is in retirement rather than facing imminent danger. A former soldier in the RPF military, Hatari is a Kigali-based real estate businessman. In 2016, Hatari Sekoko resurfaced in the Panama Papers, teaming up with General Emmanuel Ndahiro. The two were directors of the British Virgin Islands company Debden Investments Limited, which owned an executive jet. Ndahiro is Kagame's long-term confidant, who served as Rwanda's National Intelligence and Security Services. The most remarkable connection between Kagame and Sekoko is the Kigali City Tower. This complex features a 20-story tower standing tall as the nation's highest structure. This venture was heralded as Hatari Sekoko's boldest and most innovative business endeavor. Hatari Sekoko does not own the Kigali City Tower. Far from it. This structure is a flagship project initiated by President Kagame himself. It is part of his ambitious master plan to build vibrant and modern cities to symbolize Rwanda's rapid rise after the genocide against the Tutsi. The Kigali City Tower was made possible through a significant $10 million loan from the East African Development Bank to the Development Bank of Rwanda, BRD. The BRD is among the most hazardous workplaces due to its pivotal role in Kagame's state capture. BRD's chairpersons of the board and CEOs end up in prison, exiled, or dead under mysterious circumstances. BRD's CEO, Edith Gasana, left Rwanda for good. Her replacement as the BRD's CEO, Theogene Turatsinze, fled Rwanda and was murdered in Mozambique. BRD's chairperson, Kalisa Mupende, was thrown in prison and died there. BRD's chairperson, Henry Gaperi, was detained before leaving Rwanda. BRD's CEO, Alex Kanyankole, was thrown in jail. Kagame appears to have finally found his most trusted team to run BRD and happily camouflages his business umbilical cord with Hatari Sekoko. BRD's CEO is Kampeta Sayinzoga, Kagame's daughter-in-law and former Secretary of the Treasury. Bobby Pittman from the US is BRD's chairperson of the board.